guys, it is Tristan with Nerdud's Newsstand, and because I have been so busy with the JD and AH trial, I have not had a chance to really dive into this topic and make a dedicated video on it, even though I did discuss it in a previous live stream. But that is the topic of Grant Morrison coming out and saying that he wrote Hal Jordan as pansexual. Now, if you are unsure of what pansexuality is, basically you are looking at somebody that has no preference of gender when it comes to who they are attracted to. And keep in mind when I tell you these things, we are talking along the lines of Hal Jordan, the most boring, conservative, leaning lantern out there. For one, I'll put my biases out there. I'm not a Hal Jordan fan. I don't think he's the best lantern, and probably not even top 5 for me. I don't necessarily love what Grant Morrison did to him in both seasons of his Green Lantern run, but the Liam Sharp art saved it. And I also think that Grant Morrison's best writing days are behind them. One more, I promise that's it. I also think Grant Morrison is not necessarily understanding what pansexuality means, and very much so kind of trying to be more progressive and not necessarily hitting the mark. Right, Grant Morrison came out as non-binary, said they wanted to go by they, them pronouns, then said it was okay to use he, him pronouns. And now we're seeing this. And we saw some weird stuff with OMAC in his Superman and the Authority stuff. Now, yeah, make your pronouns clear. I don't care. But it was very weird because it was like mid-battle. I feel like Grant Morrison is really trying hard. And I gotta maybe give him a back pat for that. But I feel like he's missing the mark, especially if you're looking at arguably the most conservative character in the DC universe. And I would say they deserve representation too. Whoa, right? Everybody does. If I'm going to champion for representation of LGBTQ, of any sort of a press group, why would you? I know conservatives are not in a press group, but I do believe that everybody deserves representation. And if Hal Jordan is that major conservative representation, that shouldn't be taken away. Now, I'm not saying making Hal pansexual takes that away, but in some people's eyes, it may. You've got Oliver Queen, who's very liberal, one of his best friends. So these topics can be dived into, but I don't necessarily think that Grant Morrison even knows what to make of pansexuality, right? So when we look at the DC universe, when we look at the universe within this structure, would dating or being intimate with an alien be pansexuality? Or would that be more interspecial? I'm not quite sure. It all depends on your definition, because we don't necessarily have a definition for character or fake universes, right? So I would say, and I want to show you the alien of topic here. She is very female presenting. She's got some honkers, just saying, just putting it out there. And 6 hands. This to me doesn't feel like pansexuality, because I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, right? And I honestly don't care. If to you this is pansexuality, then awesome. Then great. I have no problem with it. If it's not, then I have no problem with it also. Because we've seen for years Hal with Carol. And they're betrothed to each other, basically. But this little affair, to me, is nothing. Is a nothing burger, so to speak. This is a non-controversy that I missed, and I want to make sure I cover. But yeah, I don't think so. I really, really don't. Are there more conservative people that are gay? Sure. We just seen what Madison Cawthorn apparently dresses in drag and all that stuff. But then you have to put the religious aspect into it too. Again, those people deserve their representation also. So he's Catholic Judaism, half and half. So I don't know. I would be curious what you guys think. This bothers me not at all. And either way, I don't care. I think that this was made a big deal out of by Grant Morrison to kind of remain relevant. And that's what I would say. Now, it is canon. I will say, first and foremost, this is canon. Whether or not DC decides to go forward with pansexuality is up to them. But because Jeffrey Thorne had referenced it with the Cosmic Grail stuff in his run, and it's why Hal wasn't affected by the loss of the Great Battery, this is canon. This absolutely is canon. So it really depends at the end of the day on your definition of DC Universe pansexuality. It really does. And if this makes you feel better or worse, then either accept it or ignore it. But I don't see an issue. I'm sorry, I don't see an issue here. My biggest issue is that Grant Morrison is still getting to run amok. I guess he's earned it, but my biggest issue is that Grant Morrison is still getting paid crazy amount of money to run the DC Universe amok without paying attention to any sort of continuity previously established. Now, I don't see it with Hal. That doesn't mean I didn't see it with Tim Drake. I saw the queer coding in Tim Drake. I think a lot of us did. I championed it with John Kent because he was a brand new character. This one, as long as I've been reading comics, never crossed my mind that his orientation was anything other than straight cis male. As simple as that. So let me know, of course, what you guys think down below. I just wanted to kind of talk about this. I know it's a little dated at this point because it's already been covered to death, but I don't think this is a big deal either way. It really isn't. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.